This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
The right is absolutely consumed with the specter of traditional masculinity. More specifically, they're consumed with their perception that there's a lack of adherence or worshipful attitude of traditional masculinity in America. I would contend, though, that the problem isn't a lack of traditional masculinity, whatever that is, within conservatism or the America, but that there's a lack of actual examples of traditional masculinity within conservatism. Because really, if you think about it, the only people who are whining about there being a lack of traditional masculinity are individuals who do not represent the traditional model of masculinity. People like Jordan Peterson, people like Ben Shapiro, and Don Jr., who we're going to talk about a little bit today. It's a strange thing that conservatives, for all their bluster and culture wars, don't go to an actually traditionally masculine source when whining about these problems, especially where it relates to the military. They go to people who are most assuredly not experts in military readiness or traditional masculinity. They go to Matt Walsh. They go to Ben Shapiro. They go to Don Jr. They go to people who didn't have the mettle to serve their country in uniform. These people who are failed celebrities, who are bomb throwers, rhetorical bomb throwers, who've never been 500 miles from a forward area. I'm going to play two clips for you today. One is Ben Shapiro whining about military readiness and saying that the military is being ruined because it's abandoning masculinity. It is a bizarre, also, just as a matter of what? Ben didn't shave for a week or two, apparently, because he's got a little scruff going on, maybe to make himself seem more credible or more masculine. Watch Lil Ben Shapiro whining about military readiness and the lack of masculinity in our armed forces.
The people who tend to fight wars are typically very patriotic, very male people. I mean, I'm sorry to break it to you, but this has been the truth about military warfare for literally all of human history. And the institution of traditional masculinity has been core to that idea. But we're a society that doesn't believe in traditional masculinity. Traditional masculinity is an opponent because traditional masculinity requires roles. It says that men are supposed to protect, men are supposed to defend, men are supposed to be strong, men are supposed to be fathers and husbands. These are apparently very bad things now. You're not supposed to say these things.
What would Ben Shapiro know about either one of those particular topics? What on earth could he have to offer about military readiness or traditional masculinity itself? Just because you don't shave for a little while, Ben, doesn't make you traditionally masculine. Also, from your list of things that make people traditionally masculine, protect. What do you protect? What are you capable of physically protecting, Ben Shapiro? Defend. What have you ever defended? Ever? You're supposed to be strong, he says. The weakling, the physical, cowardly weakling, Ben Shapiro banging on about strength. And then the last two, fathers and husbands, no one is saying you shouldn't be fathers or husbands. What are you talking about, you ghoul? This is all, one, a very clumsy attempt at reigniting a culture war that I thought died with the Gillette ad. but now they're roping in military tropes. And it's the same. Look, it is absolutely the same with goofuses like Don Jr., who's never done anything of sacrifice in his entire privileged, rich brat life. Was born with a silver spoon right in his ass, and it continues to be there today. Don Jr. saying similar things about the military, making an attempt at inclusivity. Look, if you're a commander and you're talking about families under your command, why not use more inclusive language, parents rather than mom and dad? Because the military is comprised of members of the LGBTQ community. It is a representative sample of America that serve in the United States military, selflessly, courageously, dutifully. But that's all too much for Don Jr., who didn't have the medal to serve a single minute in uniform, yet has all kinds of opinions about my Marine Corps and the rest of the services in these United States. Watch Dumb Don Jr. prattling on in a coke-infused haze about his opinions of military readiness.
What is it? Like, are we kidding me? Like, are we joking at this point? Like, because some families are headed by single parents and grandparents or foster parents or two moms, two dads, etc. Consider parent or caregiver instead of mom and dad. Recognize diverse family formation. Come on, people. This isn't going to help us do anything. If people can't handle, like, maybe being misgendered or something like that, like, I don't know, like, can they handle being on the front lines of a war? Like, are they the same? I'm asking a question here so I don't get canceled, but, like, it seems ridiculous. Like, I used to think it was a joke. Remember when, like, Trudeau said, like, person kind, or, like, whatever it was that he came up with instead of mankind or humankind, to be able to do that, but probably became person because human would also have man in it, therefore that can't be used. Like, what's going on in our country right now?
Humankind. It's a race to the bottom with these idiots. Don Jr. says, if people can't handle, like, maybe being misgendered or something like that, can they handle being on the front lines of a war? Are they the same thing, he asks. Well, no, they are not the same things. But being on the front lines of a war is something you would have no idea about, Don Jr. Your little weakling sausage arms. Also, you're conflating two things, as you know you are. That there is something that is a very concerning matter to military commanders, and that is morale. You want families taken care of. You want people to feel good about their service. You want benefits to be there so they feel good about their contribution in the military. And these little things that they jettison as though they are meaningless, it only shows their ignorance. Because when you make people feel included, they feel better about what they do. Their job performance is higher. And this isn't like running a company or a corporation. This is the defense of our nation. This is our military. You want people feeling good about what they do. You want their morale to be high. But what would Don Jr. know about these things? He's a coward who refused to serve his nation, just like his father, just like his father before that, and just like his father before that. It's a long line of draft dodgers and individuals avoiding military service. Cowards, weaklings, feckless clowns, every single one. We don't have a deficit of traditional masculinity in America. We have a deficit of duty, and it is on full display in the Republican Party. Every one of these whining, whimpering, sniveling assholes who complain about our military didn't serve. If you want to make the military more masculine, Ben Shapiro, pick up a rifle and stand a post. And the same goes for you, Don Jr., you millionaire clown. Shut your mouth. We don't need your input on military readiness. We got plenty of people who served. Plenty of people who sacrificed. Plenty of people who were willing to do what it took to actually defend the country. What do you think out there? I'd love to know. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me daily@dollemore.com. Follow me on social media. I am at Dollemore just about everywhere. And if I do something for you, if I bring you value, please consider supporting my work. Click the join button below this video. See what's involved. Become a channel member for $1.99 a month, just pennies a day. Or go over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. I love you guys. I appreciate you very much. I'll see you next time in a traditionally masculine way. Be genuine. Take care of one another.